Hey guys, in today's video we're going to have a look at all the considerations that we take into account when developing strength and conditioning and injury prevention programs for all of the pre-professional and professional contemporary dancers we see coming into the clinic. We like to consider each dancer individually and do whatever is needed to best prepare their body for the huge volume of work that's required of a full-time dancer. One of the big groups that we see coming into the clinic are those transitioning from life as a school-aged high school dancer to life as a full-time dancer. There's some really big changes in workload. So one of the first things that we have to consider and prep accordingly for is the huge increase in training volume week to week from a school-aged dancer to a professional dancer that's dancing all day, every day, often over weekends and just no time for rest at all. So with this in mind, one thing that we need to develop is really good global muscular endurance, and we also need to make sure that they've got the fitness and conditioning to recover well week to week and avoid that excessive accumulation of fatigue that we know leads to broken bodies. We need to make sure that their movement mechanics are really strong, that there's no underlying patterning or strength issues that, in response to this increase in work are going to result in, all of your overuse syndromes and injuries. So movement mechanics is, absolutely crucial to get right going into this transition period. Another important thing that we need to consider is the increased duration of performance pieces going from school-age dancers where Eisteddfod pieces and performance pieces are quite short. We need to make sure that they're adequately prepared for the much longer works that they'll be performing in a company setting. So they need to have really good global muscle endurance, and they also need to have the ability to recover and prolong fatigue within the performance itself. Lastly, we find with a significant increase in upper body loading as they transition into full-time dance, that inadequate preparation can lead to injuries because basically there's a much greater focus on falls, intricate floor work and partner work, and we just find that often the upper body isn't exposed to the same progressive overload that the lower body has been. Before commencing any type of program with a dancer, we always start with an individualised assessment because we want to get our heads around exactly where their strong points are, where their weaknesses are, exactly what we're dealing with, and how we can best prepare them for that workload of a full-time dancer. Generally speaking, post-assessment we find that the program needs to relate to one of 5 areas. So either injury prevention, improving general performance, strength or endurance based, improving and strengthening body posture and lines, improving body composition, or range of motion and mobility. One thing that we need to be mindful of when trying to improve athleticism in dancers is not to overcorrect. So we do need to condition them in a way like athletes, but we also need to be respectful of the fact that they need to look and move like dancers. So basically we need to ensure that we keep aesthetics in mind, that we don't build too much muscle mass. So we look to do things like improve movement efficiency, get them strong and stable through full ranges of motion, improve core strength, and all the things like this that will improve their performance, but will ensure that they maintain mobility and flexibility, don't gain too much muscle mass, and basically ensure that they don't train away from what it is that they actually need to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little insight into exactly what goes on behind the scenes when developing strength and conditioning and injury prevention programs for contemporary dancers that we see here in the clinic.